Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Uche live from Cotonou, Benin. I'm going to be showing you guys how I hand wash my clothes here in Benin while traveling through West Africa, okay? First things first, I fill up the bucket with water, okay? And then I add soap. Now, I make sure to use soap that I used to take a shower with. I went to the supermarket and I searched for soap. I made sure it is soap that I recognize. Now this is not something that I'm used to back in America. I try to look for soap that is familiar to me, but they don't really have the kinds that I use back in America. But I wanted to make sure that I use something that makes sense to me because if you don't know, Chad, in West Africa, anything bleaching, lightning, is very common here. So I want to make sure that I do not go from I used to be black to now I am white, okay? So I put the soap in the water and I put Dettol, okay? Dettol is an antibacterial, whatever the hell you want to call it, Chad. I remember when I was a kid, we used to use this to take a shower. Now, I put Dettol for certain clothes, not all the clothes, okay? So if you've never used Dettol before, you might want to be careful because Dettol has a very specific smell. Now, I only use Dettol for my towels and maybe like underwears and things like that. And I just avoid it for the rest of my clothes. And I just use the actual soap itself, okay? Now, make sure you put a little, tiny bit to kill the bacteria. This is an antibacterial disinfectant. It kills 99% germs, okay? So you just add it to the water. Make sure you fill the water up. As you can see, NEPA just took lights. The lights just disappeared out of nowhere. As I was minding my business, doing my thing, content creation, NEPA just took light. Hell, Father Lord. My dear, this trip has just been. We thank God. I don't suffer for this in our country. My Cotonou people, Benin people, I don't even know what to do at this point anymore. Look at me. And then NEPA just brought light. I was contemplating my life. NEPA just brought light. To be fair though, I waited for a while, almost a whole hour. And I was just about to record a video to let you guys know that this is so frustrating and NEPA took light. But we thank God. Anyway, I decided to go back to my hand washing to show you guys how I hand wash in Cotonou. Now, I'm not trying to throw no shade, okay? This is to all my people from the Western countries, or if you live in Western countries like America, Canada, Europe, and so on and so forth. A lot of the things that we enjoy in the Western world, like washer and dryer, are actually luxury in West Africa, okay? I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just keeping it real, okay? A lot of Africans are used to hand washing their clothes. Matter of fact, I remember when I was a kid back in Nigeria, this was actually quite common. Now, I was fortunate enough that, in my house, eventually, okay, my father bought a washer, not a dryer. We didn't have a dryer, but we had a washer, okay? That was a very American thing. That was one of the most American things that we had in our house. But, I didn't really realize it back then, but we were pretty privileged compared to a whole lot of people in the neighborhood. I think we probably were the only people who had a washing machine in the house. Okay, so this is something that I'm grateful that I was able to remember this growing up. And this is something I prepared myself for mentally, physically, spiritually, and everything, Chad. Because you know what I'm saying? Imagine coming here, sweating like mumu, and now looking around, looking for laundry, looking for a way to wash my iniquities away. Ah, Father. Father Lord Almighty. But anyway, on the day before I know that I'm going to need to do laundry, what I do is I fill up the bucket with water. I put the soap, okay? I make sure it's bathing soap. I don't like to wash my clothes with laundry detergent, okay? Because the laundry detergent is very acidic. It peels my skin, on my fingernails, and my fingers and fingernails. It's too toxic for me. So I use bathing soap, and I fill it up with bathing soap, and I soak my clothes overnight, okay? So that the next day when I am hand washing, it comes off easily. So I'm not scrubbing for hours. I literally just touch it for like what? 30 seconds, 1 minute, and it is ready to go, okay? Now, after you are done scrubbing or, washing, it is important that you rinse it out, okay? Now, I don't try to squeeze too hard. I remember back in Nigeria when I was a kid, a lot of times when you're trying to wring the water out, you wring so hard that you just mess up the clothes quality, okay? I'm trying to preserve my clothes qualities, Chad. These clothes need to last me for a really long time, especially considering the fact that I'm going to be traveling for a while. So I'm trying to be as intentional as possible. So I try to knead through it, okay, not wring through it. So I'm trying to be as intentional as possible to preserve my clothes. And I rinse it multiple times, as you can see. I try to rinse as many times as possible. Sometimes it's three, four, five, six times, man. Depends on how much soap that I put the night before, okay? To make sure I get off as much soap as possible. And then after I am done rinsing, I put the clothes away and then I put the water in the toilet. I could also put the water down into there's no tub, by the way, okay? It's just a bathroom, shower, knob, and sink. There's a drainage on the bottom. I could also pour the water on the floor, but then my feet would get wet, and I don't want that, so I just flush it down the toilet. It goes down the same place anyway, Chad. So as you can see, I flush it down the toilet, get rid of the water. Now, after I am done rinsing multiple times, I go outside. Like I mentioned earlier, there is no washer, there is no dryer. I mean, there is a dryer, solar, Chad, as I can see. This is the most solar you can get in West Africa. We talk good. I'm not trying to throw shade, but if you know, you know. Washer and dryer is a luxury in this part of the world. It's just the way it is. So if you're going to be moving here from the Western world, you need to be realistic, okay? There's nothing wrong with hand washing your clothes. I just prefer to not use detergent to hand wash my clothes because they are too toxic for me. My fingers and my fingernails start to peel. Maybe my skin is way too sensitive, okay? And that's okay. Just, a little exercise will not kill nobody. So as you can see, I took my clothes outside. Thankfully, the Airbnb provided this, what's it called? Clothing line, whatever it is you want to call it. So I've used it twice so far. And after I am done, it's still a little wet because I didn't really wring it too deeply. Again, I'm not trying to mess up my clothes quality. So I come out here and I put the clothes out on the line, and I leave them out overnight to make sure that there is enough sunlight, there's enough time for the sunlight to do its thing, okay? You also have to be careful of the weather. One thing about West Africa is that it rains a lot, especially right now because it is raining season, okay? It's been raining since I got here. Not too much, not too terribly, but it's definitely manageable. I love the rain. I genuinely love the rain, Chad. Everything is much calmer when it's rainy. But you have to watch the weather. Luckily, this clothing line is underneath some type of shade. I still get some sun, but if it were to start raining, I would have more than enough time to rush outside to bring my clothes inside, okay? So I make sure I put the clothes out here. I remember back when I was in Nigeria, some people, when they spread their clothes outside, they make sure to turn it inside out. I'd be outside in, whichever one, Chad. Like, they flip it upside down because of the dust. I really don't give a shit at this point because at the end of the day, Chad, yeah, I'm finna be collecting dust anyway, okay? No shade. It's just the way it is. Because by the time I go through the city, I be looking like I was happy, on top of the hot sun and then the heat. We thank God. Hey, Fada, welcome back to Africa, Uche. So this is what it looks like after I am done washing, rinsing multiple times. Again, don't forget to soak overnight unless you don't mind scrubbing your internal soul away. And then I spread on the clothing line, okay? And after I was done doing that slave work, Chad, I came inside because, bitch, it is hot as hell. I came inside underneath this AC to drink this coffee because I have suffered. My dear, I have suffered inside this country. I haven't even been here that long. I'm so dramatic. It's all good. Child, I done been through it since I got here from hospital. The money why I don't spend for this place, Father, it could be like say my village people don't find me for this place. But we thank God. My dear, I had to come inside and rest. I had to come inside and meditate, close my eyes, went to meditate them before mad had area. From Aba to Cotonou. Before I said I want them na Cotonou, we thank God. Hey, Jesus. So the Airbnb host did not provide a coffee maker, which is okay. So I went to the local supermarket to buy instant coffee. It's not really my favorite, but I'm used to instant coffee. But, to sweeten it up a little bit, I put some peak milk. Big milk and Milo. We thank God. A little bit of sugar. Makes the medicine go down. We thank God. But anyway, this is so exciting to me. I know this might be trivial to some people, but it just reminds me of when I was little, eating tea and bread. The only thing that is missing is bread. I see a lot of bread on the street. There's a lot of bread on the street, but I don't feel comfortable buying any one of these breads, Chad. Even though when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of them breads, but Chad, it's been a long time, and I feel like if I take one bite back to the hospital, I go, Chad. So I've been looking for a bakery, like an actual bakery where I can buy fresh bread that is hot from the oven, okay? Because I miss bread. I want to eat bread with butter, tea, and bread, like I used to do back when I was a kid. So I put a little bit of milk, peak milk, Milo, and some sugar. I'm not really a huge fan of sugar like that. Back in America, I used to put honey because a lot of things in America is just so much sugar already. But I figured, because a lot of the people here eat relatively healthy, so the sugar content that I've consumed since I've been here is relatively low. So 1 or 2 cubes of sugar is okay. So I put a little bit of peak milk and Milo and some sugar to my instant coffee and call it a day, Chad. And here I am making my bed, okay? Because I am a good boy. Anyway, I'm making my bed because I'm getting ready to begin my day, okay? It's still morning. I just did laundry, had my coffee, you know what I'm saying? And I'm about to go to the pharmacy first, actually, because the doctor prescribed some medicine for me to, fight my disease, okay? Like I mentioned before, I had some type of digestive bacteria, guinea-bissau, boy. So be careful what you consume while you are on this trip. If you do not want to get sick like me, you need to be careful. You need to be very careful, okay? You would think by now I would learn because I got hospitalized in Kenya, got hospitalized in Ghana, almost got hospitalized in Egypt, got sick in Nigeria, got sick in South Africa. At this point, it's like tradition. Every time I'm in Africa, I get sick. I was also sick in Morocco, Chad. Ooh, girl. It's that good. But anyway, I'm getting ready for my day. I'm going to go to, the pharmacy to pick up my prescriptions, and then from there go to a coffee shop to edit some of these videos and do some work. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on through God who strengthens me, so stay tuned if you are interested in what some of these projects are, okay? But anyway, I wanted to come out here to let you guys know how my trip has been going so far in Cotonou, Benin, West Africa. How I wash my clothes. This is for people who are planning to visit West Africa, specifically Benin. I need you to understand that certain things that we used to enjoy back in America are luxury, like a washer and dryer. And this is how you can wash your clothes so you don't walk around stinking, Chad, smell like pitoilets, okay? You can do it like me. It's really easy. Make sure to soak your clothes overnight. Put soap. You can use detergent if you want to, Chad, but you can do like me and use a bathing soap, and it smells good too. It smells really good as opposed to the detergent. The detergent here smells like detergent, okay? And this is me ready to leave. This is me doing some meditation. I try to do meditation before I leave. I meditate literally every day because this word is batshit crazy, and bitch, I would not be able to survive a second of this world if I don't meditate, if I don't connect with my creator first before I step out my door. Even in America, I try to meditate. I try to prepare my mind, body, and soul. Because when I tell you trials and tribulations come from anywhere, each angle, left, right, center, up, down, chinek, and all the target, just I can't say. But thank God for meditation. Thank God for medication. We thank God, okay? So I always make sure I have something to cover my face because of the sun, okay? The sun is very, very, very hot, okay? Hyperpigmentation is a thing, and I'm not trying to be about that life, okay? So I always have something to cover my face, my eyes, and also my ears. I have hypersensitive eyes and ears. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video so far. If you're, again, interested in knowing what it feels like to travel the world as a Black person, as an African person, and or as a Black African queer person, okay? I know some of y'all triggered because of that queer part. Fuck you, okay? You are part of the problem. And I'm that nigga who don't give a fuck. I'm that boy who don't give a fuck, okay? Because a lot of times people don't tell our stories. Tag along, okay? Subscribe, follow, let me spill the tea. The real tea, okay? Not the shit that we see on YouTube from people who don't look shit like us, okay? Uche, peace and love.